When the theme of the shoe is go hard, you know there's gonna be a lot of that's what she said.
Or he said.
Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and review of these potential bad boys right here. These feel awesome. And these guys right here, my friends, are the Gordon Hayward GH2 from Anta. Yes, Gordon Hayward has a shoe. He has got 2 of them now. And despite what you think about him, the shoes are awesome. So don't sleep on these, man. These are dope. Okay, so just like the first model or whatever, the GH1, there are 2 so far versions of the shoe. There might be more later on, but these guys right here were sent to us from Anta. So big thank you to everyone over at Anta. We greatly appreciate it. And this is the launch colorway of the shoe. I don't know if these have a name or like a nickname or anything like that. I just know that these are a little bit different than the pair that I actually picked up from Famuji Sneaker, which are these ones right here. And these you already know, they're in his team colorway. At least they were. It's no longer in Boston. But these in a Charlotte Hornet colorway could be really cool. Hopefully that happens. Now I just want to get this out of the way because it's been on my mind since the shoes came in. Right down here at like the midfoot section of the shoe, it literally says go hard.
That's what she said.
And I know what they're talking about. Give it your all, the Mamba mentality. But what's really cool about this, if you pull this out a little bit, it actually says Gordon Hayward. Like
I love that.
It spells it. Like if you pull these out, it's just funny that when you put them all together, they were able to get that go hard out of it. Now, what's different about these 2 guys right here are the uppers or the build. This black pair right here is a textile or knit. And then this one right here is a synthetic leather, almost feels like vinyl. And I remember the first colorway that we've got in the first model, I believe Anta gifted that to us as well. And that was the barbershop colorway. And I tried to play in those and I just didn't like them. I really didn't like them. They were really stiff. I told you there's gonna be a lot of those in here. So I didn't love it, but I was able to get the white and green pair from Famuji, and those had a different upper and they're just way more comfortable. They molded to my foot better and broke in better, and I ended up really loving that shoe. It became one of my top shoes of that year. I still think I like the design a little bit more on the first one, but I like the midsole stuff right here. I think that this looks so cool. Just really great use of their logo, man. This is dope. These guys are interesting with the tech, but we're gonna talk about the traction first. So we've got that tiger stripe. That was actually featured on the upper of the last model. Luckily, it's on the bottom of this one because the tiger thing is a little weird. It feels like it's gonna be great. Feels nice and tacky. Both colorways do. This one has the translucent, but they both feel really good. So I expect great things from these because I really enjoyed the first model. And just from trying these on, these things are comfortable, man. So that brings me into the midsole itself. Have what Anta is calling its alt flash foam. This is mad comfortable, man. They're hella bouncy underfoot. It feels like if Zoom Air was a foam, that's this. It feels great.
That's what she said.
So not only does the traction look really good, but the midsole itself or the cushion itself feels amazing. And then we have all the support up here that I think is great, because one of the things that Chinese consumers really complain about with Nike products is that the athlete most often, as long as they're an elite athlete, not like a regular endorsee, their product differs from the retail stuff because we are not, you know, 6'6" and 220. Surprise, surprise, we need something different. But Anta actually put a ton of support in these. There's no carbon fiber in it, but the TPU shank right here is extensive and it's massive.
That's what she said.
So something that I think is interesting is that we have this big beefy shank right here. It actually wraps all the way until the medial side right there. And then it wraps all the way up on the lateral side. They even incorporated not just their logo, but the lacing system into this, and it's awesome. It's independent and everything. It's really cool. And then they go into the little tiger teeth. At least I think that's what they are, or shark teeth. I don't know. A lot of animals going on. So it extends to the forefoot, but in a flex area. So the toe area is like not restricted, but the rest of it is. So it's a little bit, I don't want to call it stiff, but it's going to need a little bit of braking time, and it's supposed to mimic that springy feeling or that propelling feeling underfoot. And again, the uppers are totally different. I have not seen a lot of pairs like this one though. So I think that the majority will be this like textile and knit. After trying them on, I like just the way that this one feels. It just feels better. It feels like a Kobe, which is surprising, but yeah, it feels like a Kobe shoe, and I dig it. The lacing system's pretty basic. You just got nylon cables right there, other than the go hard thing.
Whoever figured that out, whoever was just like sitting there toying with a ribbon or whatnot and was like, hey, I can make this out of your name. Genius.
No, I know. Something that I think is so interesting is that the design landscape has broadened so much, where these brands are not just, I don't want to call it poaching, but technically they are. They're poaching athletes from the US, right? And they're promoting them. These guys would never get a signature shoe here in the States with any of these US brands. Like Nike would never give Gordon Hayward, ever, a shoe, but Anta will, or Li Ning would, or 361 and whatever. And so they're really like putting their money where their mouth is, I guess, where it's just like, hey, all the elite athletes are there, but all of these athletes are somebody over in China, you know what I mean? And so they're using them for their name and all that stuff, and that ends up bringing them more profit for their products. And when they do that, then they start bringing over US or poaching US designers. And so I was just talking about this in the Step Back 2, where a lot of people are shitting on the designers of these other brands outside of the Nike camp, and they keep saying like, we want Nike design, like you need to hire Nike designers, and they did. It's just not on the Nike. You say that you want one thing, they actually give it to you, and then all of a sudden you're like, nah, but I don't want it. And it's just like, but you've been saying that that is what you want, they gave it to you, and now you're complaining just because there's no swoosh. So what these guys are doing is great because they're focusing on performance. They also have looks. I think that these look great. I dig it, man. I dig it. These have lots of layers, just like the first one. The first one had a shell plus the leather toe plus an interior booty section. And this has the same exact thing where you got the outside shell that's knit or synthetic. And then it's really weird with the booty because it's like all up in itself. It goes hard, man. As far as the fit is concerned, they do fit true to size, which was something that the other model, like you could have gone true to size or down half a size for a really snug fit. These fit perfect. So I don't know if they changed the last up. All I know is that they fit great.
This shoe is like some kind of affirmation poster, but for your feet. Because not only is it telling you to go hard up top, but on the back it says every play, every time. So it's just motivational speaking to you from your feet.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really cool design. They even got his number incorporated back there. Just little things look great. Both of these have a different style of signature or a logo on the heel, you know what I mean? So
that one's like a heartbeat type thing.
And so I just think it's really great what they've been able to do over there, especially in such a short amount of time. I keep saying this, but Anta is the brand that since signing Clay, okay, that's when it happened. Is his first shoe was real basic. His second shoe was also basic, but that was the shoe that they started tweaking things. They started implementing the knits. They started really giving you some great cushion, great traction, all that stuff. Because before they had, you know, KG, they had Rondo, they had some guys here and there, but nothing was fantastic. And I've been playing in all of it. It was when they signed Clay. He's a championship level athlete. Granted, Rondo and KG were at the time, but at that time, people really weren't with Chinese brands like they do like now. They weren't as open to it as they are now. And so now you got guys like this, again, a Gordon Hayward, who maybe shouldn't have a shoe. I don't know. All I know is that he does have a shoe and it's a great shoe. That's the thing. So it's like,
he ain't hurting anybody by having his own shoe.
No, that's the funniest thing with people is that instead of buying a great product, they still buy the name. You know, they're like, well, Gordon Hayward, he sucks. I'm not going to support his shoe. It's just like, do you not want a great hoop shoe? Is that what you're telling me? But for the price, for the performance, you get the most bang for your buck out of this stuff. But because it's Gordon Hayward's, people are like, no. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, so you would rather buy a Nike product that has some other guy's name to it, if any name at all, for more money and get less performance value than you would with this. You know? People complain that Nikes are for indoor only. That's how they make them. These are for indoor and outdoor, but you don't want it. Anyways, I'm excited to play in these sometime, somewhere. I don't know when. For any upcoming performance reviews, they're all gonna be based on outdoor play because I literally have no gyms. And if there were gyms, I'm not willing to risk going in there.
We got a family.
Yeah.
We gotta stay healthy.
So, you know what I mean? Well, it's not just that. Like, I need to stay healthy too for my family.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You know?
We as a unit here need to stay healthy.
I don't want to bring anything to my kids, but let alone like mess myself up and I have kids. Just because all these people are like, where's the performance reviews at? It's like, are you oblivious to what's going on in the world right now?
Y'all should watch, although I'm sure you have because it was definitely trending and that's why I watched it, the 2020 special on Netflix. It was like in the top 10 with Samuel L. Jackson.
It reminded me of the Chappelle Show, man, where it's so real.
There's parts where you know they're making fun of and so you want to laugh, but you're like, but no, this was real.
Yeah, all of and this. It's so cringy at the same time because it's like how people really act. And I'm just sitting there being like, oh man, I just, you know, a lot of times I'm embarrassed to be human or an American or white. Is it really so hard to be nice? Is it really?
No, I know. But that's what I think you should do, is go watch that.
I guess. But anyways, yeah. So if you understand and appreciate that we're doing as best as we can, given the pandemic and everything, then I appreciate you. If you're one of those guys that's constantly pestering for things, I want to say stuff, I'm just not going to, because that would be me going out of my way to be mean, and I don't want to do that.
Thank you.
But thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. Thank you to Anta and thank you to Famuji. These are the only spots where, like, I don't know where to get these other than Famuji, you know what I mean? There's like high basketball shoes, so there's a couple other places, but for the most part, those are the two main places that I would go to. And thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. I'm looking forward to playing in these sometime somewhere.
In a galaxy far, far away.
That would be preferable, especially right about now. But yeah, thank you so much for everything, and until next time, guys, have a good one.